Fascinating.
This is our 46th annual exhibition, Ikebana exhibition at Selby Gardens. In front of you is the ceremonial helmet from the samurai, plus representatives of our chapters, different schools. Shall I? This is a special ceremonial display for Girls' Day. It's called Hina Matsuri, celebrated on March 3rd every year.
Yes, exactly.
This is a special display from Kimiko's mother, Chia Matsuya. She designed and created all of these beautiful dolls.
Now I'm on. All right. Welcome to Selby Gardens, and also welcome to a demonstration of our chapter of Ikebana International. And I'm going to do something very Japanese konbanwa for you all. And Ohio gozaimasu is also, it's the morning, and konnichiwa. And we have all these different ones that we can do. But right now I'm saying welcome, and my name is Pat Bonarak, and I have a flower name. I am from the Sogetsu School of Ikebana. There are many schools of Ikebana. We have represented in our exhibition some of the main schools. And if you have your brochure there, you will read a little bit more about us. We're very the avant-garde school. We are Iamoto, and that is our headmaster. He is considered the Picasso of Ikebana. Now, the only thing about Picasso, if you really study him, he wasn't a very nice man.
Gotcha. The thunder came down.
So whatever. But anyway, the rest of the story is this. What we're going to do today is I am showing you some of the basic arrangements, our basic type of things that we do. Our arrangements are put in this low flat base, which is a Moribana base, in this, and it has points on it, and it is called a kenzan, which translates to sword mountain. I love that. I'm putting it in this round Moribana base, and what we're doing is we can move it in different directions. We, in our particular school, do not put it in the middle. We put it around the side. And what's very interesting, I have people who would like to know the difference between Western arrangements and Ikebana arrangements. Western arrangements, abundance of flowers. Ikebana arrangements are looking at the lines. Our lines are very important. You also have a lot of space, not only in between each of the elements, but also we need water space too, and right in here too. This is what we're talking about. My first one that I'm going to use is going to have a particular name, and it is called Shin, which translates to heaven. So how we decide Everything is about balance. So we go 1, 2, and the height. It's perfect already. I'm not going to change it. We're also doing it at an angle so I can put it in the Kenzon. So I'm putting it in the Kenzon right here, and you put it down, and then you move it to an angle. Then that is my shin, that is heaven. The next element is mad. And this one, this branch should be 3/4 of this. So it is about 3/4. I am going to cut this a little bit more on the angle. And I am going to put this in the Kenzon. When I'm placing it in the Kenzon, you're going to see I place it down first, and then I move it. You're going to have a triangle space, and that's what I'm looking for. When I have taught this to children, sometimes I give them a paper triangle, and I put it on there. Shin, soy, and the last element is going to be hakai, and that's going to be my flower. I think I'm going to take this one and put it around. I didn't fully introduce myself. My name is Pat Bonarek, like I say, but I have a flower name. In order to become, when you become a sensei or a teacher, you are given a flower name. My last name is Te. My first part of the name is Vite, which translates to spring garden. I received Te from my Japanese teacher in Japan, and she received it from her teacher, and it goes progressively all the way down. If you look at the Oriental arts, particularly in Japan, if you are a calligrapher or a sumie person or woodblock person, all of them seem to have the same name. Well, they take it from their teacher, and it's progressed all the way down. I am allowed to give it to my student, which this tall one sitting over here in the corner, standing over here in the corner, is Gil, and his name is
Kote.
Which translates
Boundless Garden.
Boundless Garden. Now, I didn't introduce you to somebody very important, and she is here. And this is my assistant for today, and she will be doing a demonstrating later. This is Jennifer Walker, and she is from a different school of Ikebana. She is from one of the modern schools also, from Ichiyo School, and this is Jennifer Walker too.
And I don't have a flower name.
She doesn't have a flower name, but we can make her a name. Shall we make her a name?
Yokshigo.
Yeah, oh, that's it. So this is our Yokshigo. One of the important things, and even if you buy flowers from Publix or any place that you buy flowers, one of the most important things when you get the flowers home, cut the stem, preferably underwater, because then the water goes up the stem instead of the air. And also put in one of those packets that they give you. It really does help to keep the flowers fresh. So I'm cutting this cutting this underneath water, and I am supposed to do. This is my Hakai, which is the earth symbol, and it is supposed to be a little shorter. Yeah, about half of this. And I am going to put this right here as part of my triangle. Technically, it's finished, but we're not finished yet. We're going to add some things. And I love this word. It is not sushi, it's jushi. And what it does is we're covering the kenzon. So I'm using this. It's going to also give me some color. And you'll notice that I'm doing the demonstration. Another thing too, when I worked for the florist, if you had a leaf that was sort of brown or something, you would never use it. we like that because Ikebana is nature, I think. I have to tell you something about me, and I hate to do this because the people who are helping me and my students know this story. I had studied in Yokohama, Japan, and then I got transferred to the Philippines, and then I went back to Japan, and I had studied it, but the only thing I remembered was that you cut like mad. So I went, I had a new teacher in Japan, and so on. And so I thought, I brought my materials, and I had the base and everything, and so she gave me materials. I cut like mad. I made such a mess. She couldn't even straighten it out. But in all of her Oriental wisdom, she said to me, "Oh, Patricia, I see you are not afraid to cut." Now, it was just a wonderful thing to do that. She could have lost me otherwise. I have another funny story about the Kenzan, and the reason I have this funny story is I was actually teaching to a group. I did a group lesson, and there were about 30 or 40 women from, actually it was an officer's wife's club. And so they said, "Oh, you know, we'll do this." Now they're living in Japan, right? And they had seen all different kinds of arrangements and things. And so they said to me, "What can I bring?" I said, "Well, you bring the vase and you get the Kenzan." And then some of them didn't know what Kenzan was. And I said, "Well, the other translation is frog." Okay? Two ladies were sitting up in front, giggling, and I couldn't figure it out. And finally the one lady said, "Well, I couldn't find a frog, so I brought a duck." So, this is what I'm doing. I'm giving this a little more color, and so on. Another important thing in Ikebana, important thing in Ikebana is to make your flowers a different size. Even if you bought a bouquet from I'm picking up Publix, but anyway, any type of a supermarket that you pick it up, any kind of a bouquet. To make it much more interesting, just make them different sizes. In an Ikebana arrangement, everything has to have its place. And you also have to have space in between. You know why? Very simply. You want to have space so the butterflies fly through. And one year we were doing this, it was last year or the year before, we were doing this right here. And believe it or not, one of those butterflies came whipping right through here. So that's what you're doing. It's line, mass, color, space. Now I'm going to put some rocks in here to make it a little bit more natural. And also to cover this Kenzan a little bit. I have another story about rocks. I used to go in Japan and I'd go to the exhibitions and so on. And these lovely ladies would come out in their kimonos and everything, and they would do the arrangements, and they would take their rocks and they would go. And they would just go perfectly. I need a whole box of rocks. But anyway, this is what we're doing right here. So, this is giving you an idea. This is a very simple, basic arrangement as far as it's going. And we have our Shin, Soy, Hakai. Heaven, man, earth. Okay? Now,
Okay, better. My name is Adrienne Wagner, and I'm with the Sogetsu School of Ikebana, and I am a teacher. I took my lessons in Tokyo, Japan. I lived there for 10 years, and I've been involved with it since 1975. My flower name, we do receive a flower name, and my name is Ho-Te. It means rich garden. So this is my assistant, Jennifer Walker, and she's with a different school, which you will be seeing in an hour from now. And she'll explain her school. And we help each other because we all kind of learn the basics. And just because we...
1, 2, we'll make it pretty tall. 3, and then lift up the mouth. I'm not going to use this entirely as is. I'm going to do a little bit of sculpting on it. Cut out on the side of it actually. Style of arrangement that we have is what we call Moribana.
Bring my tripod tomorrow.
Alright. And then our flower or earth element. Just got a single balloon here. Chop this down. It's got a inside, kind of like got 2 mouths in there because of the way the vase is designed. So I want the flower to go off at an angle.
All right, that's enough.